Good afternoon, it's Monday, 7:15, and I'm just going to do a little market update here. So we're going to pull up the chart here, and just going to bring this back outward here, as it seems that the whole state of the economy is at question right now. There's a lot of fear being propagated in the market, and for good reason, I guess. The market is somewhat a house of cards. Many people have been saying this for a long time, and now they got the perfect reason to crash it, or maybe it's the perfect opportunity, and then kind of point all the fingers at COVID-19. Like, it's the real reason that the financial sector had a big downturn. Anyway, you guys know that I do have a TD Bank position here, and went back and forth from, let's say, saying that we should close out of this position at $70 up top, upstairs here, to then saying 65 would be a great exit zone. And we just seen like my stop markets get jumped, and I didn't have an order, let's say, during the 72. I didn't have an order at the 65. I placed an order at 56 or 7, and it totally jumped that, and I didn't end up selling. So right now, if I sold right now, I would have had a better return of investment than if I would have got stopped out. But regardless, I'm just taking a little bit more of a day-to-day approach on this, because what goes up usually must come down, and what goes down must come up. And a lot of times these big candles can only be thought of to have another one next to it. And if it is going to be a true turnaround in the whole market, there has to be some play up and down, whether that's artificial or not. That's regardless of the problem. So you can see a lot of people looking at some of these bigger zones now for support. So we could say we could draw a couple horizontal lines here. You could say this previous high right in here is going to be serving as a support, and right up top here, which would be a little bit more. I'm just going to delete this one. That one's a little bit too far for our pleasure. So yeah, we could legitimately see, let's say, this upward channel being served as resistance, or we could see something like the $38, $43 level, somewhere around this range, it catching right here. And you never know, it could be anywhere between here. So I'd say anywhere between 50 and 38. We could say the bottom, roughly the bottom, right? Historically speaking, this chart has held true. I mean, we haven't had a time frame when it has broken, and if it breaks, then hey, even for those people that are holding deep, it's just always new information to be interpreted. So looking at the monthly state here, we can see that we've kind of made our first little descent into the negative here. So we're no longer in positive territory, which you could say that TD Bank's been in the positive all the way since 2009. So we haven't seen a level this low since 2009. You could say it in a couple different ways. You could say there never has been a buying opportunity this great since 2009, if you could just wait out the next 10 years. Now, I wouldn't say that this MACD is completely rounded. It's still falling straight down, so it's probably suggestive that there's more to come. And also, right here, when you look at the monthly momentum, you could say that it has it's starting to push downward more so than we've seen, and it's quite a big bar here. We can see there's been 1, 2, 3, 4 red sell candles in a row. And in terms of volume, I mean, we got 3 right here, we got 4 right here. So yeah, nothing since the 2008, 2009 like housing market crash have we seen anything similar to that. I was trying to just look historically with TD Bank and take a look at how this played out a little bit more. We can see that from the top to the bottom, we have a total of 17 months. So it took that long to go down. So it took about a year and a half to have this downward move before it started regaining its value. So that's just where everything has moved so quick. In this one, I mean, we could say from right here to right here, but really we never stopped. We didn't really start getting steam till right here, so it's tough to say exclusively from that, but you could say right here to, let's do the same thing. Let's just say 17 bars. That just doesn't seem right. I mean, it seemed like a further distance here, so let me just do that again and just see, okay, how many bars did it go over actually? 17 bars to the horizontal, so here from this top point we go 17 over. It's about right here, so it doesn't really completely play in because we'd be somewhat at that downturn already. I can't say that's completely the same kind of price action. It's a little bit of a down thing, a real flattening. You could say that's that. And then we kind of roll over to the downside. I mean, a lot more kind of warning that, hey, we're coming down. We're having some wicks here in the previous months, but this one we just touched below, then boom, right out of here. We're gone. Now, who's to know what's going to happen here? So looking at the weekly standpoint, we can start to see there's a couple more candles to take a look at. You can see I got this ABC wave pattern here in this one. You're not going to see much right here until I zoom it into, let's say, a daily time frame. And then we can start maybe getting an idea what the heck I'm taking a look at here. So I'm kind of admitting that, yeah, we're having a downward correction phase here. Now, how bad will this be? Will this go to the where people think like $40 range? Who will know? But I'm going to even zoom this up a little bit further and just go over some of these general concepts. Like every ABC correction wave that happens in all corrections in the market consists of, the A wave consists of 5 intermediary waves. So when we look at this, we can start breaking it down and kind of give us an idea where we are in this count. I mean, this is just a very loose count, but we could say there's 5 waves down. And we could go into all the fundamental laws about Elliot wave theory, but I'm not going to break that down right now. Basically, what we can say is that for each 5 waves down, there's got to be an ABC corrective wave back up here. So we should be somewhere along this ABC right here. So this A to B is now going to be represented by this. And now where will this play out? That's to be said, right? That's to be found still. And just seeing like the whole state of the economy here in Canada, it's definitely very bearish. I mean, people are getting very scared here. I mean, I'm not one of them. I don't really care, to be honest, but everyone else is kind of really depicting, you know, how much they can get fearful in these times. I mean, it's nothing I haven't been through, that's for sure. But I think something like this is going to play out, and then we're going to have the bigger ABC pattern, something consisting like this. That would be the B, and then we're going to have some type of finish here in the C phase. So in the C phase, it's kind of tough because the charts aren't even used to dropping this low. You know, they're not used to it dropping that fast, that low. So you can see how this is very squeezed out. Doesn't look very pretty here. I mean, it's so congested that it doesn't mean much, but we're using it in a smaller time frame, so you could draw something like this here too. Now, does that extend out and become a little bit more? Who knows? But each one of these you can draw the same kind of stuff. So right here we could say that it's tough to say for sure. 1, 2. Let's just say that's an extended third wave, and we have our 5th wave up as the bull market. Now we have the correction phase. Let's say of an A, B, C. I would think that this would be the first sign that we had a market failure, and we just didn't continue along this parallel channel right here. So this was denoted with an arrow down, saying that we've failed right here, and now we'll have a 5-wave cycle to the downside. Or we could just have another corrective ABC pattern from here. So we could have another 1, 2, and maybe it's an extended C down right there. So when we don't break an all-time, if we don't break the previous high right there, we say that that's just a continuation of the bear trend. And yeah, we could see the same downward action. So this is where this Elliott wave can give you a little bit of a picture what's happening in the market here. And yeah, I just use that arrow to kind of delineate a market failure there. So right here, it shouldn't be anything different. It's just it's tough to see it on this time frame, and to see such a negative downturn so quick. I mean, to see it just move parabolically, violently so far down, it just doesn't give you a lot to go off of when you're using this Elliott wave theory. And when they're shutting down the whole society economy, I mean, it doesn't make you too optimistic. I mean, today TD, well, it closed on Friday at something like $61. So yeah, I think we closed at 61. I wasn't there to catch it. I was just like, wow, that was some pretty good market response right there. And then we had another open here, just ridiculous. It was open today at 51.50. We had a pretty good pump right here, and it's just to see it open at 53, then open at 51, and have these huge market turn ups, and only open the next day. So normally the market should open where it closed. It shouldn't necessarily, you know, start somewhere completely different, which that's with all the pre-market stuff. So it's just kind of wild to see that. Yeah, that's where there's not typical trading happening here. Regardless, I'm going to be watching this TD Bank stock just because when we look at this, I mean, we're clearly in a downtrend. I mean, right in here, I was really eyeing this candle up here, and I just didn't sell. I was thinking about it, but I chose to ride this little wave up here and kind of make my decision there. But this is the tough part when you work a day job too, and I can't just sit here and trade in the moment, and then the market closes and then it opens up the next day nowhere near where it was. So this is where it definitely gets a lot of fear in everyone, and I don't want to be the person that sells out of fear, but it's starting to kind of make sense in a rational way that, man, the economy's not going to be doing well when there is no economy. Just hold on 1 second. Just had to turn the stove down. I wasn't going to burn the place down, so I don't know if the volume's any better. I got this little microphone here, so that's pretty cool. And yeah, I'm not going to give up living my life. It's just a matter of trying to maximize the potential during this wonderful time. So you can look at this time as it sucks and you can lose a lot of your money, but it's also a time when there's never a greater opportunity to gain wealth. And that's what I'm going to try to look at it as, an opportunity to potentially really set myself outside of everyone else, and if nothing else, maybe just a learning opportunity. So you can kind of see how it follows this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave structure down, and we should have naturally an ABC upward here. We could see that we formed this A, we're coming back down here as C. Now I'm not sure if that's the bottom, or we're going to touch here for a C, and then we should have one more wave up here. And considering that the state of everything, I can't see it breaking this 3-hour trend line. I can't see it at all. So I'm actually going to change this, shorten it up to something a little bit more maybe applicable in this one. So I'm going to even shorten it up even more just to kind of be more day trading here. I mean, yeah, so we can see that, oh crap, yeah. It's kind of really respecting this right now. So you can see it jump above here for this candle right there, and couldn't hold it, couldn't get that support. So on this estimation here, maybe it's going to be tough to get above 56, 50, you know, somewhere around here. We could continually kind of follow this downward trend. It's seeming to respect it quite well, except for the moment right there. That might have been a sign that, hey, it's your last chance to get off this trade, man. Do you want to go where this is going? Regardless, I guess you can never forecast the future, so for me, I'm still willing to go either way. Like if there's not a good opportunity that I can sell, let's say somewhere in this range, I mean, I'm not probably gonna jump out of this, but the way that people are talking, it's like the beginning of the end, somewhat. So you have to realize that, serious or not, I mean, they're definitely orchestrating a global effort to kind of shut down mass gatherings, and it's not good for the economy. It can just, people are finicky, man. People are real finicky. So right now, I'm hoping that we can have a little bit of upward momentum somewhere. If this follows Elliot wave theory, I mean, it should have at least another touch somewhere, even if it's really like crappy. I mean, whether we want to delineate that right here, I mean, we could do that even and say that we should have one more touch up here somewhere hopefully around this area. And yeah, I'm going to be eyeing this out for maybe exiting out of my position, because I'm pretty sure we're going to go lower. And if I don't have to sell down here, I won't sell for down here, but if I can get some price up here, I probably will. So I might just make a limit sell for some price up here like I did today. I put it for 61 because I was happy to get out of here at 56.95. So now if I can sell for anywhere up here, I know I was trying to do that before, just try to catch a bounce and get out of here. I think that's what I'm currently going to do. So I'm going to kind of set, well, I'm not sure what I'm going to do, to be honest. Like I said, it's up and down, left and right. I mean, they could just change their mind and say, hey, we're opening everything back up, we got it. Or it could be more of a drawn-out thing. I honestly haven't listened to any of the news today because all they're doing is propagating fear. So in that sense, no thank you. I don't need to have my day ruined every 45 seconds. So I'm well aware of the current situation. And it's all of our responsibilities to be a little bit more calm and collective during this time. So it's not that I'm scared of any viral outbreak. It's just becoming more and more evident how feeble the general public is. I mean, how sheep mentality like they are. I mean, not to use that derogative term of expressing, myself, but sorry, I kind of got away from the mic there. It's just, yeah, I'm more scared of people out there reacting in panic. So it just, like, kind of shows you, like, dude, like, these are the people to be scared of. I mean, mob rule, and it just makes you, like, it makes me a little bit more hesitant. I mean, and the fact that the whole financial sector is literally a house of cards anyway, they just literally print money based on nothing. I mean, who knows how much this tower could crumble. I mean, really, you've seen it in other countries like the Deutsche Bank, and seeing something lose so much of its value. I mean, definitely not what I'm trying to do. I'm not sure if you could draw a comparable cross analysis between, let's say, these Canadian banks, which were kind of the gold standard of the world, like when it comes in terms of stocks and dividends and security. But it's not like we got a nice calm and collective commander-in-chief. We got some immature, drama teacher that's, he's not offering any, what do you want to say, steadfastness for our nation. I mean, he just propagates fear, and more we're missing these older generations to be our foundation in times of turmoil. So when I have to be that person at 32 for all these people that are twice my age, it's kind of like, it's a state and a sign of how the average mind has dwindled of its critical analytical ability. And I'm no mental giant myself, but dude, yeah, it's kind of just scary looking at the general public sometimes. I isolate myself by all the time, not for viral outbreaks. I mean, I'm just scared in general of the public and their stupidity. Not to say I don't love people, I don't love humanity, I love everyone. It's just, yeah, we're all just preyed upon so much, and we're all run so hard that there's no time to really have these moments to reflect and to think, and over time it really shows. So for me, I can't say I know exactly what I'm going to do here, but I'm going to just kind of look for the opportunity where it presents itself. I know that in the worst case scenario, I could probably hold out here and be fine for the long term. When we look at the long-term trend path, I mean, historically we've never really got out of this parallel channel here. But just to be a devil's advocate, I mean, you never really know how far any new downtrend is going to be. I mean, you could say that, well, before this new information, like that was the parallel channel we're in. I mean, we didn't have this right here, so once it hit here, we would have thought, oh, it's got to get supported. Look at, we've been held up by this every time. I mean, we got support right here at this higher high. We can't break down. And look at, it broke that channel by quite a bit. It broke it there, and we didn't get supported there. I mean, we did have a higher low, so to speak. These bigger boom, boom, boom. Where is this next one? I'd say right here, boom, boom. Let's say right in here. So these ones seem to be historically maybe better indicators where we might get held up. So 47.69 right there. So yeah, I'd be looking at these levels kind of as, yeah, man, like I don't know if you really want to let this stuff kind of drop too much lower than this, but you can see what I mean, you know, looking at this channel as this channel right now, you could see that as it broke this channel, we could see still downplay down to right in here. And that's where some people have been saying, you know, drops to that $30-$40 range, which ideally, I mean, I don't want to have to look at, but it all just depends. I mean, it's pretty tough to just look at this and see, oh, look at this month, man. You know, there's not a lot of, it's so quick. I mean, it's just like this one right here. Such a quick candle down. And we did have a couple crappy months afterwards. You know, we did. It's just it's tough to predict, right? I mean, you can't always predict, but you can always compare. And the comparison, you could see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 green candles in a row once we decided that, hey, we're going this other way. Doji candle right there, we didn't get any idea what was going on. I mean, these ones with the long wicks, they're kind of a sign of uncertainty to me. I mean, here, we just had like one little kind of, well, not doji, but one little moment of uncertainty here, and then it was just like, boom, look at this big boy. And then, boom, like that, this month is just like, whoa. That is probably one for the record books here. So looking at this bigger time frame, like we should be reaching some of these levels of support, which we really haven't broke this $50 range. So for me to sell in here, as this seems like kind of silly. So I mean, you could say that this could be a pretty easy fall through from 48 bucks to, let's be specific, 47.69 to 43.44 here. That could be an instant drop. I mean, looking at what's been happening, this could just be a pre-market day. Just like, yeah, prices was here and then we're ending up here. You know, just like it's going to just completely jump the gap if it does decide to. And yeah, looking at just like the global news and stuff, I mean, how much can they just like sustain some of this like free fall? Like they're trying not to just let it fall. Like we don't want the whole market to collapse. I mean, so looking in here, you can usually see like it's not just a complete shot downward, and where there's the worst red bar, there's always a pretty good green candle to recover some of that value. So right here we had that gross bar, then we had something to recover some of its value just to continue back to the downward side. But Looking in here, I mean, it's getting muddy. You guys know what, I don't want to lose those, but that's where this just looks all messed up, because these are by no means green effing candles, I mean, how are these green? They're going down. It doesn't make any sense to me. How can a green candle be going down? Well, it's because they opened up so crappy, right? They opened up here, 56, when it closed at 65. It just boom. There's 15% gone in the day, and it's like, whoa, no price action? No, we're here. Same thing here. We closed at 61. Boom, opened at 51. And then we can see all this. I mean, is this pure survival just to try to keep this from coming all the way down? I mean, it doesn't really look good, because seeing that, I mean, is this just like a hope and prayer just to prevent further price collapse? And I mean, I guess we'll find out. But you can see where I'm taking a more detailed look at this, just because of the global economic situation. I can't see this spontaneously getting better in a week. I mean, this is going to be more of a drawn-out process. And yeah, there could be still a lot more downside to go. But for me, like, I'm trying to hold out for some type of bounce in here. I mean, it should have to follow these laws. And yeah, that's my current play. I'm going to watch this and kind of see what we open and close for. And I think I'm going to have just like an open limit sell to sell if it gets within this kind of area. And I don't think I could be too upset with myself if it does. I think I'll have some more money to enter in at a better time if I could sell here and I could enter back, let's say, any level down here again, and I'll be laughing. So just a quick little update. It's crazy out there. I mean, I don't have the Rosetta Stone or the Eyes of Foresight, but this little bit of Elliot wave theory should hold true. I mean, this could totally just get ignored because of market factors and downward pressure and pre-market trading and everything. So it's going to be interesting, at least. I'm sure waking up to see the markets open, because that's kind of the surprise of the day. Is it going to open at $70, or is it going to open at $1? I mean, this thing is picking and choosing. So the rules of Elliott wave theory says that we should have one more ABC up here, and then if we are going to truly have continued downwards action, we will have another ABC, or not ABC, we'll have another 5-wave structure downward, probably into the bottom, I'd imagine. So if I can get off the train up here somewhere, I don't really want to have to necessarily follow this down, but I got different options here. Like I said, I don't want to sell for too low of a price. You never know in hindsight if that was a good or bad decision, but I don't think anyone really wants to be chilling out in this market right now. I mean, that's just the thing. I mean, we'll see what happens, eh? We'll see what happens. I don't want to really, the biggest thing is just like the stress of this. Like, I didn't really want all the stress of having to play this position versus my other positions like gold and silver. I know they're going down too, but I just have a lot more faith in them. I mean, like, we can look at something like silver here, and yeah, I mean, wow, we've had a complete breakdown here as well. I mean, Jesus. But something like silver, I mean, for me, like, there's no real potential in my eyes of silver going to zero. I mean, when you say TD Bank stock, I mean, I'm a little bit less convinced, to be honest, because how shady banks are. I mean, TD is the gold standard. Canadian banks typically are. But, crap, we're going to have to redraw that trend line here. Yeah, I didn't really see this downward action here in silver, but I know these will recover. Silver is not going any lower. I mean, how can it? Even gold. I mean, gold seemed to not quite take the hit, but why would gold have such a dump? I mean, it's just pure fear, right? So, you know, gold and silver ain't going nowhere, especially if bad times are coming. That's the only place people are going to throw their money to, unless they're... The thing is, most people have no money. Just to be honest, it might be straight to toilet paper. Any reserve income, right to toilet paper. But for me, gold and silver don't seem like bad places to start throwing extra money. And right now, it's the best time to invest. I mean, if you have extra cash waiting around, like, could you only imagine to see like TD Bank price stock at this price? I mean, granted that the banks themselves might be in a little bit more of a shithole versus something like gold and silver, but it doesn't seem like any market has, you know, got away from it. Like looking at crypto, Bitcoin, I mean, man, we had like a 40% drop this one day. It was just brutal. I mean, shit, let's see where that wick is. I mean, I couldn't even see it. Looks like it's right there. We've had a wick right to 4,000. I mean, this is totally not what anyone in this space was expecting, so it's a tough time to be an investor, even if you're in like gold, silver, grade A, bank stock, cryptocurrency. I mean, it doesn't seem like a real like crazy portfolio, but hey, I know people are hurting a lot more than me, but it's just, yeah, it's a good time to kind of get some experience here in this market. And you can see I've been doing some Elliot wave here as well, just to kind of take a look at what's the state at this at, where is it at its count. I mean, can we get any better predictions about what's going to happen here? I don't know if this is going to be something I'd want to be advertising as clear, but yeah, I think I'm going to call it there. I kind of rambled off here. Thanks for listening. Everyone's got to, in the end of the day, make their own decisions. This is kind of one of those time frames where we're in our uncharted territory. I mean, I have no doubt that we're going to recover from this. It's just a matter of how long is it going to take. Imagine come summer here, we're going to have a lot stronger rebound. It's just when we get such a fearful state, I mean, it's unpredictable what people will do. And here in Canada, they say schools are closed for the year. Sports is shut down. No mass gatherings. Even like my own professional college says continuing education is done. So in lieu of all these things, I mean, it's just tough to have optimism with the market in general. And yeah, it's just, yeah, it's if I'm kind of at the position, if I can squeal out of here at one of these prices, I'm definitely looking at these as a much better opportunity right now versus I was back here. Anyway, I think for me, I'm going to set like a little bit, I already had it set today. It didn't reach the price, but I'm going to set a sell around 61, 60, something like that. Or not 61.60, but $60. I think that if we can retouch some of this range here, I probably should be more than happy to reach it. Looking at this 3-hour candle, like I said, we should surpass this $60. It's just by how much. And we'll see how it plays out. I don't think I'm going to be as busy tomorrow, so maybe I'll make a video during the day tomorrow. I'll wake up, see what the price is at. And yeah, we'll see if we're just going to be having to hold on and cross our fingers, or if I'm going to be exiting out of this position. All right, have a good night, everyone. Thank you. Bye-bye. Oh, one other thing, the VIX, she's at another all-time high. That's just the fear one, so no, yeah, just for fun, man. All right, see ya.